Right, welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport. We're continuing on with the Track Specials Championship. I know it's been a while since we did the first part, but for numerous reasons, I've just not gotten around to doing this second part. But yeah, we're still in the Alpine. Yeah, we're at Grand Oak Raceway. I think it's raining at the moment, so yeah, probably not going to be a lot of traction out there, but still. With this having the engine over the rear, we should have plenty of rear end traction at the very least. So. Yep, we do not need 21 laps of fuel. Let's go for 9. Right. So let's see what we can do. So yeah, numerous reasons why it's been a bit of a delay in getting this part out. Main one being just the fact that Forza Horizon 5 has just been keeping up the content to such an extent that it has taken up a lot of my time. A new car park, the festival playlist is really knocking it out of the park in terms of the cars that they're putting on there. So yeah, just been really quite preoccupied with that game. And I haven't been playing too much of this, to be honest. Did play a fair bit of multiplayer when it was in D class. I'm not bothered at all with it being in, I think it's S class that it's currently in. Yeah. The other times I've been playing it have been for my replay race series, so yeah, that's the only time I've really been playing this so far. It's just not gripped me in the same way that other Forza Motorsport games have done, which is a big shame because obviously I do love this series. I've been playing it ever since the first one. But yeah, for a few reasons it's just not gripped me the way that I hoped it would. Especially since I have been looking forward to it for a very long time. But still, I'm enjoying doing these videos at the very least, so that's something to keep me going with this game. I think I'm right in saying this is one of the fictional tracks on this game. It's a pretty good one, to be honest. I also like the way that the wipers work on this Alpine. Typical French weirdness there. Whoa. Very nearly outbraked ourselves there. Had only a couple of inches spare of track. So we will upgrade this car after this race. Hopefully the upgrade menu works in between the races. They have said that they have patched that, so hopefully it works. I'll be extremely annoyed after doing this race just to lose all of that progress. For some reason the Ford completely came to a dead stop there. At least we've got a podium position. We've got a clean lap in as well, which is fairly quick. Completely outbraked ourselves in that corner again. Yeah, not got this corner down to a T yet. been other reasons, like I said, why I've not gotten around to this part yet. Is I've been playing a couple of games outside of, you know, YouTube video. So finally finished off Alan Wake 2 on Sunday morning, and that was, yeah, fantastic game. Loved the first one, and yeah, obviously it's going to take time to notice whether or not it's going to hold the same kind of nostalgia as the first one held for me, but it's still a fantastic game. Solid 9 out of 10. I could justify getting up to at least 9.5, but easily a 9 out of 10, and yeah, it's probably my favourite game of the year so far. Also started out on the new RoboCop game, Rogue City, which is also really impressing me at the moment. I've only played about an hour or an hour and a half of it so far, but yeah, that again is also a game that has really impressed me. It's really nailed the whole aesthetic that the first and to some extent the second film had going for it, especially when it comes to the violence, the use of Murphy's gun, and yeah, the general look of the thing. I also like the fact that it feels like an older school kind of FPS kind of game, because there's a lot of destruction to the environments that you can do and cause, which again makes it feel like part of the film, because, you know, when RoboCop goes up against whatever the walking robot is called, I've forgotten his name now, yeah, when he goes up against one of those initially for the first time, yeah, there's a lot of destruction of the building that they're in and whatnot, and yeah, that's the kind of thing that the game gets across really nicely, which is always something I like in FPS shooters, is when there's a lot of environment destruction going on. There's nothing that pulls me out of the game more than an environment that doesn't react to your actions. Yeah, that does it really rather nicely. In one way it does it nicely is that paint cans that have a predetermined colour, when you shoot them they explode in that predetermined colour, so which not only, you know, gives off a kind of vibrancy to the whole you know, action scenes, but those paint cans also cake whatever they are in, or whatever's around them, in the same colour, so you can end up making the whole environment looking like an explosion in a paint factory's gone off, basically. So yeah, oh dear. So yeah, it's a really good game. Highly recommend it if you haven't got it already. It's easily one of my favourite FPS shooters that I've played in recent times.
3 left.
Which has typically been a genre that I've kind of fallen out of love with. The only one. Whoa, where did that come from? The only one prior to the RoboCop game that I've played outside of that one has been Halo Infinite, which I really rather enjoyed as far as newer Halo games go, but yeah, it wasn't anywhere near as good as the first three. This RoboCop game, yeah, it's really fun, really nicely violent, and I like the fact that it's very much of a detective game in a lot of ways, which reminds me of the Batman Arkham games. So yeah, because you can use your Robo-Vision to find evidence and the like, and yeah, it's just really well done. So if you've not played it yet, I do highly recommend it, especially if you enjoyed the film, the first film, and then the second film. Although if you're one of those very few people that enjoy the third film, then you might not well enjoy that, because yeah, it's got none of the comedic, you know, more childlike friendly aspects of that third film that I've seen yet. Who knows, maybe they will at least throw in the flying jetpack gimmick that was in that third film. Let's try and get back our first place position after this car randomly span out. Must have aquaplaned or something, because yeah, the rear end just suddenly lost all grip. I felt like we were driving on ice. It's not like the tyres are shot or anything. Got an off-track violation there for no reason whatsoever, because it wasn't gaining an advantage. And on top of playing those two games and Forza Horizon 5 knocking it out of the park with its content, obviously I've had plenty of films to be watching as well. Not all of which I've reviewed, but you know, even the ones I've reviewed, that as of late, that comes up to 6 films. There's at least one more that is going to be coming this week in the form of a film called Eye of the Devil, which if you've not seen, I do recommend if you're into your horror films, especially classic ones.
One more. Finish strong.
I think the reason we span out last time is purely because it got heavier in terms of the rain. Yeah, we've been used to quite a light drizzle, whereas now we're in a massive downpour. I think this is easily the wettest that we've had a race on so far in this career mode. Not the kind of conditions I would recommend doing 100 mile an hour in, but for these purposes it's fine. All leveled up. Oh, bit of lightning there. Got a massive understeer that this car can sometimes generate. But regardless, we get the win, even with that 0.3 penalty. Oh, actually surprised that someone else in the race also got a penalty. Usually the AI are pretty perfect in that regard, and also surprised that the second place didn't get a clean lap. But yeah, still comfortably ahead in terms of lap time, despite only being in D class still, whereas plenty of the other ones were in C class. But we're going to obviously advance into C class now. So yeah, we're 6 points ahead now of second place, who we have now regained the position from, and we are 13 points ahead of third. Let's upgrade the car. We got given differential, flywheel, transmission, clutch, ignition, driveline, rear wing, and bumpers and skirts. Right, so let's upgrade the car. Please do not ruin my life by crashing. Tyres. Let's increase the rear end grip because that's what we lost last time, as well as the front end grip, and we'll up the tyre compound as well, because we have a decent amount of speed already. It's just a case of the amount of grip that we've got. Up to 215. Don't have enough quite for new brakes or that. Right, then let's knock some weight out from the driveline. Right, does it work? Ah, see how difficult that is? Not at all. Why couldn't it be like that to start with in the game? You'd have thought that would have been something that anyone would have come across when testing, but evidently not. Right, so we're on the Nürburgring GP circuit. I'm not sure which one, the full or the short one. Sprint circuit's the short one. Okay then. So I'm glad I upgraded the handling, because yeah, that obviously is something that can hinder you on a sprint circuit. It's not really about the speed or anything, it's more the handling. Still not fixed this aspect of the whole game though. you shouldn't be forced to go into practice when it comes to a race. You should be just able to just get in it straight away. Come on. Certainly not improved the loading times for these, that's for sure. Right, come on. No more faff. All the way down to 8 laps. Yep, there we go. 17% again. Right. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Right, so we've got a bit of extra power, a little bit less in the way of weight, and better tyres. So we should be quicker than we were before in terms of straight line speed at the very least. Although there are some powerful engines here, with those Holdens in particular being more powerful than we are even in stock form. We should probably do next time is the springs and dampers, because for a sports car it's quite wallowy. Jesus Christ, that Holden's a bloody psycho. Definitely got much better turning now, even with the suspension still being stock and the brakes being stock as well. Yeah, the turning is better. No need to brake there, guys. It's called a fast corner. It's where you don't brake. See quite a lot of these being raced in D class when they were available in the multiplayer. Obviously they're not now because for some reason we have to continually change class, despite they're adamant that this game should be all about, you know, feeling ownership over your cars, but I don't see how you can do that when the classes in the multiplayer consistently change. You know, no car is going to be available in every class that is put up there, because they're either above it or they would be fairly useless in a much higher class. So yeah, you can't really feel ownership over a car if you're having to suddenly stop racing it online because the classes have changed. This person's dawdling around about 20 miles an hour. Didn't even realise I was that close. The nose of this car is extremely deceptive in terms of how far in front of it is. In front of it is of you. We've got the grip now, but we don't have quite the body control. the body roll is quite bad on this. Not as bad as another car I've recently driven though, that Plymouth Belvedere on Forza Horizon 5, which yeah, really does like to lean on its door handles, but at the end of the day it's supposed to be a sports car and it's not handling like one at all really in some regards. Certainly struggling to get into the podium position. BMW is desperate to try and get past us again. Slightly gaining on fourth, but not by a huge amount. Especially when the car suddenly acts up like that. And this car certainly isn't the most predictable of things to be driving. It is at times quick, but then other times it's slipping and sliding all over the place. It's sunnier now, so I might warm the track up a little bit. Gives a little bit of extra grip. Suspension is definitely going to be the aim of the game to upgrade next time. Make the grip that we have more usable. Make it a bit more predictable in the corners. Oopsie daisy. Only a warning.
Last lap.
Understeer everywhere there. Trust me to pick the one car with more issues than most. We're definitely going to lose the first place position we have in the championship overall. That was not a good race. Made up a decent amount of ground in the first lap and second lap and whatnot, but after that, yeah, it was just all downhill. Good 2 seconds or so off the pace of first place. Oh, we didn't. We just held on to first place by 1 single point. So, yeah. Let's hopefully, yeah, keep on to that first place position with the last race. So, yeah, I'll see you when we have done with the upgrades, and yeah, when we get back into the next race. So, yeah, see you when we get there. Right, we're at Maple Valley, so I gave it race suspension, sport brakes, and a sport flywheel as well. So slightly lighter, got a better revving engine, but more crucially, it can stop better now, and the suspension isn't going to wall around as much. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit more in the way of control, and they will go really rather nicely with the obviously the other upgrades that we've given it in terms of extra power, extra grip, wider tyres and the like. So yeah, 5 laps here, so go down to 7 laps for our fuel. Always like a bit of a contingency in there, just in case, because you never know what is going to happen. Right, so we have to basically win this race to hold on to the first place position in the championship overall. But I'm confident we can do that because we have the better suspension, better brakes, and the slightly better revving engine. So let's hope that the upgrades prove successful. As you can see, much more control in terms of its body. Not quite as much understeer either. Yeah, that is much better, much smoother, much more predictable. Why anyone's braking there. Again, why are you braking there? It's called a fast corner. Well, just by sheer virtue of the fact that these AI can't drive around here is helping me. Reminds me of the Alps course or whatever it was called in one of the previous Forza Motorsport games, because it was basically like this but set in the Alps. It was yeah, very easy for the AI to, for some reason, just want to brake at virtually every fast corner, which made that easily one of the best tracks to easy win on, basically. Speed. Not the best angle of attack there. Really not the best angle of attack, yeah. Getting an overtake there is extremely tricky, as you can see, because you don't have the right drive line, and you can easily just understeer wide. So maybe I'll give him the corner. Just overtake on the straight instead. Slightly slower in terms of gaining on first place, but a lot safer in getting past second. I'm sure someone with more skill than me can probably do that pass, but not me. Not in this car, at least. Let's work on gaining on first. Apparently they are adding Yas Marina with all of its different variations to this game as well. Probably should have been in the game to start with, considering it's been in previous Forza games, but you know, it's the same case with the Nürburgring basically. That's not in this base game as it stands so far. But you know, at least they're adding it in, rather than, you know, not bothering at all or heaven forbid charging for it. But as it stands, the DLC aspect of this game, you know, car pass and whatnot, has been extremely disappointing. Only been one car out of the 4, 5, or 6 or whatever it's been so far that I have enjoyed to any extent, and that was an older car version we already have in Forza Horizon 5 that we got given for free. So yeah, overall the car pass has been a massive disappointment. It's easily the weakest car pass that I've ever had on a Forza game before. Hoping it picks up eventually, but not really expecting it, to be honest. Especially since they seem to be obsessed with putting racing cars in, which it's just boring as far as I'm concerned. I just do not find racing cars an exciting prospect to race at all, really, unless there's something interesting about them, you know, like the driveline or the engine or certain aspects of the way the aerodynamics work or anything like that. Then it's just not something that interests me at all. And most of the racing cars that they put on this game are just basically racing versions of standard road cars. They've got a bit more power, a bit more grip, got all the livery on them and some aerodynamic tweaks, but outside of that it's just that and out the door it goes. So I'd much prefer the standard road car, if I'm being honest, than the racing version. At least then the road car in racing scenarios is a bit more of a challenge, whereas outside of getting used to the additional grip and downforce, racing cars really are not that difficult to get used to at all. plenty of grip around this big bend. Yeah, this race is a walkover with the way the AI react to these fast corners. They brake far too much, and far too often, for them to be competitive. I think this is a particularly fast car, to be honest. It's got 215 horsepower, which there are plenty of cars stock that are in this championship that have more than that. It's probably the lightest of the bunch, but the handling, unless you've got the right upgrades, is way too unpredictable, as we saw in the previous race. Last lap of this race and championship. Let's get this car across the finish line in this first place position. Oh dear. Way too much understeer there. First time that's been an issue on that corner. I still guarantee we'll win because I will brake on this corner and we'll brake on a few of the other ones as well. But it's just not necessary. At least not to the extent that they bother to brake on. My new brakes are coming much use on this circuit, given it's mostly flat out. Bit of a pendulum effect there. But regardless, we got the win despite that mistake on that final lap. So yeah, there we go.
Nicely done. We finished P1.
Yeah, we're not even the highest PI there, and yet look at the lap time difference between me and, say, the Mercedes-Benz 190E with 2 extra PI and yet a near 6-second gap, purely because of the way that they brake on those corners. That's ridiculous. But regardless, we get the championship overall with 4 points ahead of second and 15 points ahead of third. So yeah, did pretty well there. I'm really glad with how that championship eventually worked out. I would say the Alpine is probably the more difficult car to choose from to get used to, but you know, it was enjoyable at least seeing the car progress in terms of what it can and can't do. As yeah, changing the suspension there certainly did help a lot. So yeah, nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.